This is Kang, one of the most brutal and powerful big bads that Marvel has ever seen. And Kevin Feige has said that we're going to see multiple versions of Kang across the MCU. And this is Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. Kevin Feige has also indicated that Miss Marvel is so important to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and its overarching storyline that her backstory and origins were altered to meet the current MCU continuity. So to me that means Miss Marvel and Kang are going to cross paths. They did so a few times in the overall Marvel comic book saga. So why not just keep the battle-based grudge match between these two going on in the MCU? So what are all the ways that Kang is going to show up in the current MCU continuity, and how will Kamala Khan factor in, you wonder? Well, wonder no more, because we're going to discuss all of that right now. Before we go any further, here's a warning. Spoiler alert! There are spoilers in this video, so if you haven't watched all of the episodes of the Miss Marvel Disney Plus miniseries and Loki Season 1 yet, exit this video, go catch up on all of that Marvel goodness, and then come back so that you can enjoy this video better. And I want to thank one of my subscribers for giving me the idea for this video, and I hope I'm pronouncing all of this right. But the subscriber's name is Rami Haj Yunez Montoya. I love that subscribers want to shape the content on this channel, so make sure you subscribe too, and leave me some suggestions for videos in the comments section below so I can give recognition to you in an upcoming video of mine. Okay, so first we have Kang Prime. Kang the Conqueror, or Kang Prime as he's sometimes called, is the main individual who has a ton of variants running around throughout different universes and timelines, creating chaos, especially whenever the variants interact with one another, causing worlds to diverge altogether. Again, we'll go through some of the variants who are most important to the overall Marvel comic book saga and how they can pop up in the MCU, and of course, how someone like Kamala Khan might be fighting him off to save Earth 616 from his destructive designs. But Kang's name originally was or is Nathaniel Richards, and he's a descendant of both Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. Ha! Pretty twisted, right? Nathaniel, or Kang Prime, was born not in our world or timeline, meaning Earth 616. Oh no, he was born in Earth 6311, which in the Marvel comic book saga is known as Other Earth. This reality was already an upgrade from our own since the Dark Ages never occurred there, and science, medicine, and technology, therefore, was able to proceed unimpeded. Long story short, Kang Prime studied both history and time travel, and using the time travel technology of Victor Von Doom himself, created a sphinx-shaped time ship and travels back to ancient Egypt to conquer it and rule it as the Pharaoh Rama-Tut. So we'll get to Rama-Tut in a moment because we've already had Easter eggs in connection with him appear at least twice in the MCU before now. But let me say that it's already a well-known fact that a version of Kang will be the big bad in the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and personally, I think that Kang Prime is going to be the version that is encountered when Scott Lang and crew go exploring the quantum realm, where Kang's city of Chronopolis exists, meaning Kang can't be too far away. I've already theorized that whether it's through the presence of Easter eggs and or her own direct involvement, Miss Marvel could very well have a presence in that movie. And this was first discussed in my recent video, How Does Miss Marvel and Ant-Man Connect? So if you haven't watched that video yet, be sure to check it out after watching this video. Regardless, there have just been way too many Ant-Man related Easter eggs that have been strewn throughout the Miss Marvel miniseries to be ignored. If, in the post-credit scene or stinger for episode 6 of Miss Marvel, Kamala was pulled into the quantum realm by her bangle because it's a quantum band with a connection to that realm, boom! That's how Miss Marvel gets involved in battling Kang in Quantumania. If the band is a nega band, well, it's going to bring her into contact with a different version of Kang, just not likely Kang Prime, and we'll get to that version in a moment. But do I think that Kang will show up as a powerful foe in the movie The Marvels as well? Yes, I do. I think there's a reason why the publication schedule for Quantumania and The Marvels was flipped, because originally The Marvels was going to come out first, and then Quantumania was to air. Things have been rearranged for a reason, and I think in part it's because Kang is such a powerful foe that he won't be vanquished in just one major outing like the Quantumania movie. So he's going to be a powerful force factored into the storyline of the Marvels. I'll be putting out more videos in the future detailing my theories on the Marvels movie, but in the meantime, let's discuss Pharaoh Rama-Tut. So the first variant of Kang Prime is really the Pharaoh Rama-Tut, who is Nathaniel Richards' time-traveling self who came to conquer Egypt and rule it like a boss. In the Marvel comic book saga, this individual runs afoul not only of his own self, but also the TVA, or Time Variance Authority. Remember them from season 1 of Loki? And the Fantastic Four, while they were out on a time-traveling escapade of their own. I've recently done a video entitled, "This is Why You Can't Sleep" on Miss Marvel, Fantastic Four, and you really should see that video also, because I cover why I do think that the bangle on Kamala's wrist is a nega band, which would connect it to the negative zone, which could very well explain why Kamala got pulled out of Earth 616 in the finale of the Miss Marvel miniseries. She's off in the negative zone, saved from annihilation by her bangle, and guess who discovered the negative zone and began visiting it and utilizing it for certain purposes throughout the Marvel comic book saga? That's right, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. So, could there be a fact pattern in the MCU that connects Kamala with the Fantastic Four? You bet. Could it involve sooner or later any and all of them battling the Pharaoh Rama-Tut? Sure. We've already had 2 Easter eggs having to do with Kang as Pharaoh Rama-Tut. One, the Sphinx-shaped spaceship that was tossed into the void like so much garbage by the TVA in season 1 of Loki, and 2, the transfer or screen printing that was on the back of the denim jacket of one of the followers of Ammit from Moon Knight. So yes, I think we're going to be seeing Rama-Tut as an actual version of Kang in the MCU. But we're not done. Next, speaking of Loki season 1, we have Immortus, He Who Remains. So in the final episode of season 1 of the Loki Disney Plus series, MCU fans were stunned by the appearance of another version of Kang, who was a mashup of Immortus and He Who Remains from the classic comic book storyline proper. In the Marvel comic book saga, Immortus was an older blah-looking dude, and He Who Remains was a grisly oldster. But the good folks at Marvel Studios got us the foxy Jonathan Majors to portray this version of Kang in the MCU. Thank you, Marvel Studios! Much, much better on the eyes. Woo! Anyway, while this version of Kang in the MCU acted kind of coy with Loki and Sylvie about what exactly to call him, I would say that He Who Remains is the title that fits the best. Now, in the comic book saga, Immortus is an older version of Kang Prime, having been caught by the TVA for his crimes against the timeline and reality overall, and his job pretty much ever since has been to help the TVA preserve the timeline. And keeping things simple, in the Marvel Comics, He Who Remains is not a variant of Kang at all. He's literally the last remaining agent of the TVA. But again, in the MCU, Jonathan Majors' Kang in the finale of Loki Season 1 was a mashup of the comic book sagas Immortus and He Who Remains. And of course, Sylvie kills He Who Remains, and that causes the timeline to shatter, and for another version of Kang altogether to begin ruling and or running the TVA that Loki Laufeyson goes to and works with as Season 2 of the Disney Plus Loki series goes on. In the finale of Season 1, He Who Remains warned Loki and Sylvie that he was the least offensive of all his variants. And perhaps he was telling the truth. So now Loki's definitely going to bump up against Kang, and maybe either in season 2 or season 3 of that series, Miss Marvel will show up to join him. But that's okay. Once we get a properly updated Avengers team back into the swing of things in the MCU, we'll no doubt encounter Mr. Griffin. Yup, this is another version of Kang in the Marvel comic book saga. During a time travel accident involving Kang, a divergence occurred, which is when a variant spins off from another variant into a different timeline, and that led to the creation of Mr. Griffin being trapped in present-day Earth 616. Like any Kang would do, though, he set out to take over the universe by first creating a corporation called Kang, as in Queng, which is so clever it deserves another Stanley. Ha! Then Mr. Griffin buys Stark Tower out from under the Avengers because he's so successful and makes a bid to reprogram Vision to turn him against the rest of the Avengers, including our girl Kamala Khan, who at that point is a member of the team. Of course, Mr. Griffin's defeated in the comic book saga, but I do think that Mr. Griffin is going to be showing up in the MCU as well, thanks to the Easter egg that we saw in episode 5 of season 1 of Loki, since it was tossed into the void by the TVA, along with the Sphinx-shaped time ship of the pharaoh Rama-Tut. So in addition to the theory that I've just spun about a possible Miss Marvel and Loki crossover, if Miss Marvel and Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, end up staying friendly following the events of the Marvels in 2023, I have a sneaking suspicion that both women join the newest version of the Avengers, whatever that shapes up to be, and they will at some point down the line encounter Mr. Griffin in a way that is similar to the Marvel comic book saga. White Vision is out there somewhere, right? Maybe he's the version of Vision that Mr. Griffin tries to hack. I'm just throwing that out there. And now it's on to Nathaniel Richards' Iron Lad. We're getting into young Avengers territory now with this theory, folks. Nathaniel Richards, aka Kang, shows up in another way in the Marvel comic book saga that can yet materialize with the slow, steady build that the MCU has been undergoing towards the creation of that superhero team. What with Kid Loki, Billy Kaplan, Wiccan, Tommy Shepard, Speed, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Cassie Lang, Stature, and Eli Bradley, Patriot, already having been introduced throughout the first 4 phases of the MCU. There's no reason why Miss Marvel couldn't join the Young Avengers along with America Chavez, who just debuted in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, that's some team, right? But wait, there's one more staple of the Young Avengers from the comics, the founder of that team, no less, and that's Iron Lad, a teenage version of Kang from an alternate future that, once he learns who he becomes, travels back in time to found the team in order to avoid his ultimate destiny. So we could have Miss Marvel fighting Kang Prime, perhaps, as a teammate of Iron Lad, or down the line, when it turns out he can't avoid his destiny any longer, and he goes super villain mode, Kamala Khan might have to go from fighting alongside Iron Lad to battling him more directly. There's so many versions of Kang, and there's so many different ways he can show up in the MCU. It's ridiculous. And I just know that Miss Marvel is going to be front and center in many, if not every, battle involving him. In my video, Negabands, Why Does Miss Marvel Have Them?, it specifically goes over why the Spangle isn't just some random piece of Kree tech and doesn't just unlock and boost Kamala's Jinn-based abilities. It's a band that is packed with Kang-level powers that will allow for Kamala to do battle with Kang himself. Everything in the MCU happens for a reason. Everything. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you check it out. And at this rate, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you really should. There's a ton of great videos on it, and we come out with videos and live streams pretty much every single day throughout the week. So, come on and join the Mama Saga. So you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to the Mama Saga for more comic book saga breakdowns, Salty Mama style. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you next time.